This problem is all about correlation. So let's go ahead and click over to our data. Now one thing you'll notice here is you want to make sure you're working on your random subset, but also make sure you don't have anything excluded or hidden. I do. So I want to go to rows, clear row states. Now, to do correlation, go to Analyze, Multivariate Methods, Multivariate. I'm not going to do the one you're doing. I want to repeat that. I'm not doing the one you're doing. I want to see if height and weight are correlated. I suspect that maybe as someone gets taller, they also generally weigh more. This would be a positive correlation. And yes, there is. I'm shocked. So with this in mind, the correlation is 0.6299, meaning a pretty strong positive correlation between height and weight. So now, I'm actually going to see if this is significant, which we will use for later questions. Go to Pairwise Correlations. This checks the correlation between the pairs and also gives the significance level. Even confidence intervals. Let's try an interpretation for fun. You don't need this on the project. I am 95% confident the true correlation between height and weight for Stat 201 students is contained in the interval 0.5716 to 0.6819. Same interpretation that we've always been using. Good interpretation check. So, with this in mind, this is actually a very, very significant correlation. But now, let's go ahead and make sure your pictures are correct for this one. You might have some 999s. Before you take a picture, make sure to exclude the 999s. Go ahead and select the 999s. For me, I'm pretending this is a 999. I'm going to go up here and go to Rows, Exclude, Rows, Hide. Once you have the points selected, they will be gone. But they're not gone from the analysis. You now need to remake the picture by going to the top right arrow and clicking Script, Redo Analysis. So now my 999 point is gone. After I have this picture, I want to click back in the data to re-highlight the points. Also, you'll notice everything I did previously is still down here, so I still have the significance level. That's excellent. But let's go ahead and remove some bivariate outliers. There are some people who don't follow the trend as closely as others, so we have some bivariate outliers. Removing these will just strengthen the correlation most likely. So I selected these points that are outside the ellipse. And this is not the best statistics, but it gives you some practice at removing outliers. So let's go back up to Rows, Exclude, and Rows, Hide. We're now going to do the same redoing of analysis. We now have our next picture. You'll also notice that on the first picture the points are still missing. They're in the analysis, reason we have a correlation of 0.6342, and over here we have a stronger correlation because we removed bivariate outliers, strengthening the relationship. Also the count is lower for this one because we have outliers removed. So make sure, take a picture of your second one. If you didn't take a picture of the first, you can go back to Rows and Clear Row States. And now you have the picture for the first with the points in there. But if you didn't do it, if you didn't take your picture of the second one, the points are back now. So make sure you have the two proper pictures. Take your time and get the right pictures with the points in it over here and the points removed over here. Now the question is this significant correlation? And I think we said before, definitely. Why do we know that? Well, the null here is that correlation is actually equal to 0. The alternative is correlation is greater than 0. So we're actually running a statistical test down here. Yes, we reject the null. We have evidence, at least on mine, that correlation is significant. Now, let's check some conditions for correlation. QQ, straighten up, no outliers. Well, you can go over those, and I would specifically label each one. QQ, straighten up, no outliers. Those are the conditions for correlation. There aren't any others, because this is just correlation. Make sure you list them, and specifically go over them. Let's see if there's anything else worth mentioning. I think we've done everything, but make sure to do the correct ones for this. The correct ones, and be very specific in your interpretation, and make sure to get the correct pictures. Never hurts to be a little bit wordy, but check off each thing you choose. Good deal.